Okay, welcome. I'm Bobby. Welcome to Quincy Squid Garage. Today we're going to be doing a detail on my 2006 Nissan Titan. We've had some bad weather here in Oklahoma. Texas got hit pretty hard with snow, and the truck looks like a disaster. I did the Challenger 2 days ago. Now it's time to do the truck. We're going to go ahead and get into everything that I'm going to be using for the truck. The Challenger was much easier. It's a newer vehicle, a lot cleaner than the Titan normally is. But today we are going to be using a few different products here and there just to kind of bring the life back to this thing. And we'll go ahead and get into it. So thanks for sticking around. Appreciate it. Okay, so this is a real world of what I'm dealing with right here. I don't know how well this is coming up. Oh yeah, I can see that in the camera. So we've had really bad weather. So this thing does need some love. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wash this thing. Put a instant wax on it. I did wax it a couple months ago, so I don't think it's really due for a while yet. So we've got 2 tires back here for our Datsun project that's coming up that I picked up from Puddin's Fab Shop. So this is what we're dealing with. I'll show you the inside real quick. Generally we keep the vehicles pretty clean. Oh, my Sea Cadet left her stuff in here. So just you know, we do have these WeatherTech floor mats, so the seats are cloth. I do shampoo them probably once every 2 months or so. You know, just some typical mud and stuff got up in here during the bad weather. So this seat is actually relatively new, the upholstery. I had a shop out in town redo it. I had some tears here and they did a great job. You can hardly even tell that it's not stock. This fabric here is not stock, here is not stock, and this one here is not stock. That line is coming back though. There's like a wire under here, so I don't know. But when they put it back together, they put my switch in upside down, and it's not. I can't blame them though, because I took the seat out and took them the seat, so they didn't install it in the truck. So, but that's what we're dealing with. Relatively, I can take this off now because my wife doesn't drive this anymore. But yeah, we'll get her all cleaned up, and my kid left her ID in here too. So yeah, we'll take a gander. So we'll go ahead and get into what we're going to use, and see you in a second. All right, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. We've got for our exterior wash, I am using the foam cannon here with Mr. Pink soap from Chemical Guys. That stuff is awesome. All right, for foam cannons. So I'm using a foam cannon with my Harbor Freight Portland pressure washer. I have a video on the conversion to do that. Everything you get on Amazon with the new orifice, the cannon and everything. I think it's like 30 bucks to modify your Harbor Freight pressure washer to take a foam cannon. So we utilize that, and then we do a 2-bucket method wash here. I've got this O'Reilly's soap laying around. I'm not going to use that stuff in the bucket because it's very expensive. It's about 25 bucks for a jug of that. But you do dilute it, so it's not, you know, too terrible. But I'm not going to put that in this bucket. So I'm using this, whatever I've got laying around, just for the 2-bucket wash. Got clean water here to rinse my microfiber off. I do have Chemical Guys buckets coming with the actual strainers inside and all that. Just the shipping is slow right now. So, and then to dry, I've been using this absorber rag for a couple years, and it's pretty good. And I just picked this up from Harbor Freight not too long ago, this drying towel. And I think I actually like the absorber better, to be honest. But go ahead and then getting into it, I'll be doing a quick wax on this. I'm using this Meguiar's Ultimate Quick Wax with a couple of applicator pads to kind of just bring the shine out a little bit. And I'm also going to be doing a clay bar on here to get, because we've got a lot of dirt and debris on the truck. I want to make sure we get everything off of there before we start massaging in wax, because I could scratch my paint even more. So for wheels, my neighbor Josh just gave me this a couple days ago for rim cleaner. I've been using this one. I don't even know where I got this. It's been working, but this is wheel and tire. That's just rims. So I'll be using this on the tires, this on the rims. So my neighbor's just retired from the Air Force, and he's moving to England. His wife is an English citizen, so they're heading that way. I've got this tire brush here to actually do the rubber. And what I use on the rims is my drill brush attachment. And to get into those hard spots that don't fit, I use a detail brush. And then once the rims are done, we put the tire shine on here. I've been using this Jay Leno's Garage tire shine. My aunt bought me this on QVC. Came in a whole kit for a whole bunch of things. I'm out of a lot of the other stuff, but it's actually pretty good stuff. The bottles are kind of small, so it goes quickly if you do a lot of washes, but I'm not sure how much it costs because it was a gift, but it actually works pretty well. So I use the tire shine, foam applicator, and then I use green microfibers for wiping off the rims. All right, getting into interior. If I do need to, I utilize this Turtle Wax upholstery cleaner for stains on the seats and carpet. And I'll spray this on, and then I use my drill brush to work it in. And I use a house extractor is what I'm using right now. I don't have an actual extractor for auto. I don't do this enough to be doing that yet. I'm looking to get an extractor, but I'm not looking to break the bank. So any suggestions you got, put them in the comments. That'd be great. For general vacuuming, I use the rigid shop vac over there that I picked up at Home Depot, I believe. And they have a car wash attachment tool that goes with that, with all the little nook and cranny kind of deals. So I originally bought the Bauer version over at Harbor Freight, and it was, I think, 60 bucks. And it's a great vacuum, but it only had one attachment on it. And it's good wet and dry vacuum, but for what I'm using, this one came with more attachments, and I think it was $9 more, and I would still have to buy the car wash attachment. So I took the Bauer one back and went and bought this one because it ended up being the same price because of a military discount. So that's what worked for me. The Bauer is still a great vacuum, but this one just worked out better for me. I have nothing against Harbor Freight. I use a lot of their stuff when I can. So let's see, detailer spray. So I've been using a number of different products. I was using that Jay Leno detailer spray for interior, but it's gone. So this is what I'm back to, the Turtle Wax detailer spray. So I get color code my microfibers so I don't cross-contaminate. So just regular detail brush and microfiber cloth. This is a nice little tool picked up on Amazon. I think it actually came with my detailer brush set. I think it was like 20 bucks. Came with a whole bunch.
Here's your reminder.
So, reminder.
Elizabeth put your laundry in the dryer.
We living in the future.
Here's your reminder. Elizabeth put your laundry in the dryer.
Yep. All right. Welcome to the Jetsons household. All right. So we got glass cleaner. This is the last step on my details. So invisible glass, I got recommended on this on, I think, Chris Fix's video. This stuff is great. Don't use Windex on your auto glass, especially if you have a tint. And I use blue microfibers on those as well. So I use different color microfibers for different jobs, and then I'll wash those at the end of the month or whatever. So that's what I'm using today, and we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're getting ready to start. First thing I'm gonna do is remove all of our floor mats. And we'll put that back in the garage here in a minute. So we're gonna get these staged over here because we're gonna wash our exterior first on this one, and then we're going to wash our floor mats with our pressure washer at the same time. So we'll go ahead and get these staged. All right, I'll see you in a second. Okay, first thing I like to do is give the wheels and tires and all the undercarriage a quick rinse. And then while that's kind of drying, I'll go ahead and do my floor mats. So I like to do tires first and everything else before you do the rest of the car, because you don't want to wash your car and then get all the gunk from your tires on your car from overspray. So we're just going to go ahead and give this a quick rinse. Come on, baby. And then repeat and get underneath the car as much as you possibly can. Okay, now that we've got our wheels and undercarriage and everything done as best we can, we're gonna go ahead and just rinse the exterior off before we apply soap. And then once we do that, then we'll hit our floor mats. So we'll just rinse most of this exterior dirt off, so our soap doesn't have to work as hard. Somehow my wand is on sideways. I don't know what's going on here. See all that dirt just coming off? So the more dirt you get off before you apply soap, the better it is for your soap, unless it doesn't have to work as hard to get it all out. All right, we'll continue on the other side, and then we'll hook up our cannon. All right, so we got the majority of the truck washed out, except for the bed. I've removed those 2 tires that we're gonna use for our Datsun project. We're just gonna spray this out, spray her out. I know y'all like these pressure washer, satisfying videos. It's so great to see something get cleaned. There goes a mask. We'll give you a nice after shot of this here in a second. Look at all that. All that gunk. A lot of that's from those tires that were back here. There you go. All right, we'll get to an after here in a second. All right, there we go. Nice above shot. Bed looks great. It's crazy. The Secretary of Defense said he was coming by later. Distinctly told me he wanted to eat scrambled eggs out of the bed of my truck. So now it's ready to roll. So let's go ahead and get into the exterior wash now. What I like to do before I spray soap on the entire vehicle is to do my wheels. So before we put the foam cannon on, we're gonna clean the wheel, rinse the wheel, then we'll hook up the foam cannon, and we'll put soap on with the foam cannon as well. But I want to get all the brake dust and everything I can off the tires and the wheels and everything before I spray all that all over a clean truck after I wash it. So we're going to go ahead and use this Meguiar's aluminum wheel cleaner. Spray this in here. This stuff smells really good too. And then we're going to use this auto drive tire cleaner, wheel and tire cleaner. I've been using this pretty much exclusively. I've got my tire brush, just giving a good scrub. I'll get any mysterious dirt, anything locked on there. And of course I forgot my drill brush. Where'd I put it? And I use a detail brush to get into these hard to reach crevices here. Nice on the emblems there. And get up in there. And then I'll use my drill brush to get all up in there. So let me go get that. Okay, sorry about that, wasn't prepared. And I'm not that good at editing yet, so we're gonna do this again. You don't wanna let anything dry, because that makes it that much harder to get off. So we're just gonna hit all the insides here. Make sure you get your brake as much as possible. That's where a lot of your brake dust is going to be, obviously. And if you notice, this is flinging stuff all over the place, so you don't want to get this on your paint, or really at all. You don't want to get it on your paint after you've washed your truck. So now we'll set all this stuff aside, give it a quick spray down. Now we'll repeat that on the other 3 wheels. Okay, so here I've got my Chemical Guys Mr. Pink diluted in my foam cannon. I acquired this from Amazon. This is on my Harbor Freight pressure washer with a Ryobi attachment. I had a video where I showed you how to build all this, if you look through my videos. We're gonna go ahead and do the exterior of the truck. So I'm gonna spray it, let it penetrate for a little bit. And because it's so dirty, I'm probably gonna do it twice. And then we'll do our 2-bucket wash and clay bar. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. And I like to hit the tires again just to get a little bit more soak on them. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and hit our floor mats with the same solution so they can penetrate and get rid of all that dirt and grease in there too. Floor mats, here we go. We'll let this sit for about, I don't know, 10 minutes, and then we'll hit it with the drill brush and scrub them off. All right, we've got our drill brush attachment that I like to use for my floor mats. We're just gonna hit it, and then we're gonna rinse these off with fresh water. So I like to go one way and then the other way. You see all this stuff coming out. It's so satisfying to watch dirt coming out of something. I don't know why, but it's awesome. There we go, nice and clean. Okay, now that we've got our floor mats done, they're over there drying. I hit this with another application of the foam cannon. We're gonna use our 2-bucket wash here, and as soon as we do a couple swipes with that, we're gonna go over it with a piece of the clay bar that I just opened up, and that'll get any of the micro dirt that's still on the truck before we throw a spray wax on here. Hit this by hand, and the sun has gone down, which is kind of nice because otherwise you have to work really fast so the soap doesn't dry on your vehicle. So normally it doesn't take me this long to wash a vehicle because I don't record every little aspect of it, but I'm trying to first off learn pointers, and if I can show anybody something, I'm going to do that. So. Okay, and now that we've almost put that in the wrong bucket. I did put it in the wrong bucket. So the 2-bucket method will rinse out your rag before you stick it back in your soap. We're gonna go ahead and use our clay bar here. I wanna do this wet and just hit the entire surface of your paint. And this will get any impurities still left on your paint, so you don't scratch it when you start buffing into waxes or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and repeat this all the way down the truck on the other side. Okay, now we've clay barred the entire truck, washed the entire truck. Now we're going to give it a quick rinse, and then we'll dry it and apply wax. I just want to show you guys the stuff that comes off a clay bar. All right, really, really important that you do this. So we're gonna go ahead and dry the truck now. That gets out any of the dirt. I'm gonna be using the trusty old chamois here. I'm gonna dry this thing off. And I know the camera's showing more light than what I really have, which is good, so you can see better. but I am going to apply that quick wax because I did just wax this truck maybe 2 months ago with new finish. And shouldn't really use that more than once a year. So we'll get this dried off real quick and spray some of that on there, and probably do our tires if they're dry enough at that point. Okay, so now that we've washed, clay barred, and dried our truck, we're going to be using this Meguiar's Ultimate Quick Wax just to kind of bring out some of the shine. I'm going to probably take a follow-up video tomorrow morning when the big ball of fire's out so you can actually see better. So I'm going to be using this applicator pad, and then once it gets to a haze, I'm going to be buffing it with a clean microfiber cloth. And we're just going to do this quarter panel. And just use even circular strokes to work this in the paint. And you want to make sure this is completely dirt and grease free, because if there's anything on the paint, it will just etch it right in there, make it even worse, your clear coat even worse. Alright, so we'll let this get hazy, and then we'll buff it with our microfiber cloth, and it will bring that shine right back in. Okay, now that we've let this get a little hazy, I know it's kind of hard to see because of the lighting that I have right now. I'm going to go ahead and hand buff this with a microfiber, and then tomorrow I'm going to continue the wash, interior, and all that in the morning while I have some light so you can see better. Normally it doesn't take me this long to wash a vehicle, but having to pause every 3 seconds and set things up, blah, 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 not something I really took into account. So yeah, we'll get right into it. So just nice even strokes here. I want to massage that right back out, and you'll see it. Man, it looks good already. Just wish you could see it. And I went ahead and did the whole truck. So, but I'll get up on close in the morning when you can see what she looks like. Now I do have an orbital buffer that I like to use when I apply you know, cutting compound and all that, but like I said, I just did that maybe 2 months ago on both vehicles, and even the Jeep too got it. And Jeep's got a lot of scratches, but I think they're character scratches, so we'll we gotta kind of be careful between all these letters. I just reapplied these. When I had the truck painted, they put some cheap tape on these so they kind of fell off here and there. So I acquired some new letters, plastic dipped in black, something different. And you know, yeah, we'll keep going with it. So we'll catch you in the morning when the rest of this, and then I'll do the rest of the interior and everything when I have light. So we'll see you in a couple hours. Thanks for tuning in. All right, welcome back. Next day. Didn't really go as I wanted it to. I was gonna get up in the morning when the sun came out, come out here and show you everything, but I got called in early at work. Some jet engine stuff going on, so you know, this and that. But I'm enjoying myself now. It's after work, so I did drive it, and I'm gonna finish the detail after driving it. Not really conventional, but this came in the mail. So this is my Chemical Guys 2-bucket wash. So the next one will be done with a little bit better equipment. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. I'll take you around, show you the shine from that little spray wax that we put on here. You also got to remember, this is a Mako paint job from about 2 years ago. So, you know, we're not going to win any car shows or anything, but it does look all right. So we still got to do the tires, still got to do the windows. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Tires, windows, and interior. So that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so here's a close-up of that, and you can see that it is pretty decent. So I did actually cut and polish this about 2 months ago. So we're gonna go ahead and do our tires, our windows with the invisible glass, and then get into the interior. So the headlights, I'm not even gonna mess with because I've already ordered some to come in. I actually have some in the cupboard over here, but they didn't come with the adjusters to change the beams around. So looking for UFOs. So I'm still trying to figure that out. But yeah, so headlights and taillights are on the way because one of my back taillights got cracked. So I'm not even going to bother with the headlights. So let's go ahead and get into tires and windows. Well, we got right in the middle of colors on that one. Okay, so we got cotton colors there. Military bases, well, Navy bases, 8 in the morning, and at sunset, the national anthem will go off. On Air Force Base, it's 08 and 5 p.m., 1700. So a little different here and there, but national anthem goes off, you stop what you're doing, pop to attention. If you're in uniform, you will salute. So, all right, I've already done the other 3 wheels, the other 3 tires. So, like I said before, Jay Leno's Tire Shine. We're just gonna spray this pretty liberally here. Use our applicator. And spread this evenly. You don't want drips in this because it'll dry like that. And that's not good. And then I like to use a green microfiber for cross-contamination, so you're not putting nothing else on. Wipe your rims off. So these rims have seen better days. I am going to be painting these black, kind of blacking up the truck, murdering it out, whatever you want to call it. Paint will be the same, but until I need to repaint it again, and then I'll do a darker silver. But so that's it for the tires. We'll let this dry. You don't want to drive with this while it's still wet because it will start slinging all over your paint. That's bad news. So that being said, we'll go ahead and get into windows, and then we'll go interior. So, all right, windows. I am using the invisible glass, and this stuff is great. Works on tinted windows as well. So don't use Windex, that can damage your tint. There's a lot of ammonia in it. So big windows like that, I'll just spray it on. If it's a small window, I'll spray it on the cloth. Like in the Challenger, I just sprayed it directly on the cloth and applied it. So this stuff is pretty streak-free right off the. Okay, here we go. Still got those floor mats removed. So I don't think we need to do any extraction in here. This seat's fairly new, so we'll probably just do a vacuum and call it a day. We'll clean these sills up. I always do those last because they're nasty. So yeah, we'll just do a vacuum in here, and got some icky stuff right there. Not sure what's going on. So I gotta get my Bang trophy out here because she still has her Sea Cadet stuff in here. So she's in the Sea Cadets and also the Air Force ROTC. So let me go acquire her real quick. Computer, intercom to Madison's room.
Okay, dropping in.
Madison.
Yeah.
Come down.
Okay.
Get your stuff out of my truck.
Okay.
Okay. Computer, hang up. We are living in the future. So within the interior, first thing I want to do is get rid of all the debris. All that stuff's got to go, so we'll take all that out. I got my little book here, my little chief book. It's all secret stuff. Can't show you that. And yeah. All right, so we're picking up all this stuff out of here. My kid's hat. This is a piece to my floor jack. Got some trash down here, so we're gonna pick up everything out of here. All this little crap. Look at that crap. Oh, I could use that. All right, so we're gonna pick all this stuff up and then put a vacuum on it. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and just vacuum everything here with our shop vac. I don't think we need to extract anything. The carpet actually looks pretty good. Excuse me, got some beer burps there. And the upholstery looks pretty good because I just did it not too long ago. And so we're probably just gonna go ahead and dry vacuum everything and then do our interior detailing with the spray for all the plastics and everything. Call it a day. And I do have those WeatherTech floor mats in here that protect this carpet, so I try to keep my my carpets and everything as in as good a condition as I can. Party foul. Now that our front is done, we're gonna go ahead and vacuum the back. Oh, look at here. That's nice. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and vacuum the back, and this actually gotta go to, that's to our windshield cover. It's the cover for the cover. So let's go ahead and vacuum this, and then probably go ahead and reinstall our floor mats. Made 11 cents. Man, kids are messy. Okay, now that we've got our carpets done, we're gonna go ahead and do our seats. So I'm not going to use any extraction on the seats for as far as soap and water extraction right now. These have honestly just been done. So, but we do have some debris in our seams. So I like to use the crevice tool to hit those seams up like that, because that's where a lot of stuff will collect at that seam for the sewing mark. And then just for the all around seat, just our large tool. So we'll hit the crevices first, and then go over the entire seat with our basic attachment, whatever. Done. Power. I like to agitate it right there along the seam to get any particles that have gone into the fabric right there. That's where it's going to go. Now we'll swap out to our regular attachment. This has this kind of fabric here. I'm going to go both ways on it. Now normally I don't go both ways, but on this particular sheet I do. Alright, now we're going to repeat the other seats and reinstall our floor mats, and then we're going to get to spray. Okay, so here we are. We got everything reinstalled. The camera does pick up more than what I... Dang, what is that? I'm not extracting today. So now we're going to do all the plastics and all the door panels and all that stuff. I like to do the door jambs last because they relatively hold the most dirt. So we've got all our mats reinstalled. Dang, there's stuff on my seats. I'm not extracting today. So we'll clean this, our dash, all of our components up here. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into that. All right, so we're gonna finish off our interior. We're using the Turtle Wax interior detailer. What I have been using is that Jay Leno interior detailer, but I ran out, and this stuff works pretty well. So I don't spray this generally directly on anything because I don't want overspray. Like my center console piece, I will, because there's really nothing else around that. But everything else, I'll either spray directly into my detail brush, or onto my microfiber cloth. So we're just going to go ahead and get into it. So I'll just spray my microfiber, and then I'll clean the entire dash and all the little pieces here. And I like to use this detail brush, so you can see that. Kind of an awkward angle for me there. And now I've got all this juice up in here, all right? So we're gonna start off with our steering wheel. There's some like dirt and stuff around the Nissan emblem here. So we're just gonna work this in and then scrub the whole steering wheel assembly with this cleaner. And this will, using this instead of just rubbing it in with a brush, you can wipe off this white lettering on some of your applications. So you got to kind of be careful. I need to take this wheel cover off. My wife likes this foam nasty, I don't know, but she doesn't drive this truck anymore. She was driving this truck for about 2 years, well, because she didn't trust her Jeep. So we're gonna go ahead and wipe that down here, and this is where a lot of the sweat and stuff off your hands is gonna get. So you don't want to put any armor all or anything on the steering wheel, because slip, bad news bears, and then you're up shit river, you know what I mean? So okay, so one of the last things that I do is all my door jambs and then the windows. So using that same microfiber that we clean the interior with, and I've got to order a new door seal here. I need to vacuum out. So just wipe this out, and that'll prevent dirt and stuff from getting back in. And I'll have to hit the vacuum in there real quick. And I do this all the way around. So once again, we're using our invisible glass. We're going to do all of our interior glass, and then the rest of the truck is complete. We've already done all the plastics, the carpets. Not extracting. I did notice a few things in the seats, but not enough that I'm going to pull the extractor out. So we're just going to go ahead and spray it directly on this glass here, because it's a big piece of glass. The Challenger had small windows, so I sprayed on the microfiber. So I've already done all the other windows on the truck. Left this one just for demonstration purposes on what I'm using. So just like the exterior, wipe until it's clean. And this stuff works great, especially on tinted windows. So okay, well, here she is complete. Now you also do have to remember that I did drive this to work, because I got called in the middle of it. So there is already some stuff under there from going through a puddle, but pretty solid. That spray wax works pretty well. See if you can see a little glimmer in the sun. Now, granted, this is a 2-year-old Mako paint job, so it did have some orange peel on it. I did wet sand it as best I could, but for all intents and purposes, I think she came out pretty solid. Check the inside here. So looking pretty good. Already set up to go to work. This is a new cover here. I got that off Amazon. Had some tears in it, and like I said, that driver's seat over there was just repaired. Oh, I forgot to take out that little piece right there. I had a little Hawaiian hula girl for years, and I was noticing this squeaking, so it was the spring on that thing wearing out. So I ripped that off, but I got to take that off, or get another one. Amazon, here we come. So yeah, truck looks pretty solid, and appreciate you tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, bell, all that crap. And we'll get more content coming to you here shortly with some builds, and appreciate you.